Bakram Jeet calendar, part 46. So, as we are talking about Bakram Jeet calendar, the lunisolar calendar of subcontinent South Asia, we do compare and contrast it some of the other calendars in the world. We have drawn a comparison and contrast with the Hijri calendar, the lunar calendar, Islamic calendar, and we draw similarities and differences. And now we draw the same comparison in contrast with that of the Gregorian calendar. Uh, the Gregorian calendar is the calendar used in most part of the world. It went into effect in October 1582 following the papal bull Inter Gravissimus issued by Pope Gregory XIII, which introduced it as a modification and replacement for the Julian calendar. The principal change was to space leap years differently so as to make the average calendar year 365.2425 days long more closely approximately to 365.2422 day tropical or solar year that is determined by the Earth's revolution around the Sun. Well, we can know many things else about it. There are rules for the leap years, such as every year that is exactly divisible by 4 is a leap year, except for years that are exactly divisible by 100. But these centennial years are leap years if they are exactly divisible by 400. For example, the years 1700 and 1800 and 1900 are not leap years, but the years 2000 is a leap year. There were two reasons to establish the Gregorian calendar. First, the Julian calendar assumed incorrectly that the average solar year is exactly 365.25 days long, an overestimate of a little under 1 day per century, and thus has a leap year every 4 years without any exception. The Gregorian reform shortened the average calendar year by 0.0075 days to stop the drift of the calendar with respect to the equinoxes. Second, in the years since the first council of the Nicaea in AD 325, the excess leap days introduced to the Julian algorithm had caused the calendar to drift such that the northern spring equinox was occurring well before its normal 21 March date. This date was important to the Christian churches because it is fundamental to the calculation of the date of Easter. To reinstate the association, the reform advanced the date by 10 days, Thursday, 4th of October 1582, and was followed by Friday, 15 October 1582. In addition, the reform was altered the lunar cycle used by the church to calculate the date of Easter because astronomical new moons were occurring 4 days before the calculated dates. It is notable that whilst the reform introduced minor changes, the calendar continued to be fundamentally based on the same geocentric theory as its predecessor. The reform was adopted initially by the Catholic countries of Europe and their overseas possessions. Over the next 3 centuries, the Protestant and the Eastern Orthodox countries also gradually moved to what they called improved calendar, with Greece being the last European country to adopt the calendar for civil use only in 1923.